Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, April 30th races at Hastings. We do have 8 live races on tap. Hopefully the weather holds. As of taping, it's very, very nice out right now. The track is fast at Hastings, and it workouts this morning, and hopefully it doesn't stay that way.
And another strong card.
Wow, we got big fields, also eligibles, 2 stakes races.
Just like opening day, which was an absolute success. I thought one of the best cards we've had in a decade. And it turned out that way. Great races. Congratulations, of course, to Peter Redicott, Phil Hall, Enrique Gonzalez for Distinctive Passion, winning the Swift inaugural. And the Brighouse Bells.
North American Thoroughbred.
American Thoroughbred, Sandy Gann and David Lopez teamed up
Dear Lily.
for Dear Lily to get her stakes win in there.
Let's get into the Sunday
On
program.
to the Sunday program. 8 races.
First post.
Mentioned 8 races on tap. That's right, 150 card. You want to kick it off?
Sure, I'll kick it off. Race number 1, non-2, 4,000. We've got 7 of them signed on, going 6 furlongs. They'll be going 6.5 pretty much every race next weekend. But there's still quite a few, only 6.5 this weekend are the stakes races. But the non-2, 4,000 to kick things off, Colts and Geldings. I was torn between the 6 and the 5, Stormy Teen and Cowboy Phil. I went Cowboy Phil. Big work in 59 flat in his final prep for his return to the races. Obviously, the big drop in class last year, it looks like he wasn't at his best. He ran poorly, but it looks he's been training well. He's better than a non-2 $4,000 horse, and I think he'll show that on Sunday afternoon. Stormy Teen, also another one. What a great form. This horse ran really well for last year's leading trainer, Mike Anderson. Works her excellent as well. Richard Hamill will take over in the irons. I put the 2-horse Hot Summer Nights for Greg Tracy, who got off to a great start on opening day. Rico Walcott in to ride. He's riding quite a few horses for Greg this weekend. He had Quincy Welsh last weekend, but Rico's back in town. He's got a great record here in Vancouver. Workouts are a little on the slow side, but he's been campaigning down the all-weather surface, the Tapeta surface at Golden Gate, and perhaps he could be one running on late. I went 6, 5, and 2.
Man, if you can see I got a lot of notes, or I kept changing my mind.
Some scribbling.
I landed on Stormy Teen just because he's a lightly raced horse. He's only ran 4 times. He's got a win, and the last time, that was actually a non-3 he ran in. In that last start, Mike put him in a non-3 trying to get one more race out of him. He got beat by Power to Believe. Only got beat a length and a quarter. Those are tougher horses. I think he fits in well here. He's been working well. He attracts the Richard Hamill. Stormy Teen for me. I put Feel No Shame out of the Rob Maben barn. Rob Maben going great guns,
tied with Sandy Gann.
And Greg Tracy tied for leading trainer.
3 of them.
Difference was Rob Maben only had 3 starters. Wins 2 on opening day. Great to see for Rob. And this guy, he just worked in 1 minute and 4/5, so he's another one that has a very nice work coming into this.
Training well. The barn's going well.
I put him in the 2nd spot, and he was really getting, he had a nice form his last 2 starts last year. Broke his maiden. Those were going long, I realized, but he had run well, sprinting as well. Broke his maiden going long, came right back in a 4-on-2, and only got beat a couple lengths. And I put Cowboy Phil, an obvious threat in here, coming off that 59 flat work out of the Phil Hall barn. Phil, of course, as we mentioned, did win the stake last week with Distinctive Passion. His horses are running well. Put him in the 3rd spot. I went 5, 3, 6 after much debating. On to the 2nd. This is the BC Cup Dogwood for 3-year-old fillies, going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 5 here. I've landed on the 2, Yukon Bell. She's done very little wrong in her career. Broke her maiden in a stake last year. Came back in the Sadie Diamond Futurity, only got beat a length and a half behind Spirit Bay and Anstrom, and then made no mistake in the Fantasy, winning by a comfortable margin. She has a Drosselmeyer, so she will like the distance, but I think she's just been training so well. She's proven she can run short. I just think she's the best filly in the race. I think sprinting she can win, and she's going to get better as they go longer, and a good string of works for her, as well as tip of the cap to her owner, who's moved on to the 2nd round. They won their first game.
Yeah, they beat Anaheim
Ducks last night, so keep going Oilers. I put Dazzling Dawn in the 2nd spot. Nancy Betts' horses have been running very well to kick off the meet. Ran into 2 very nice Greg Tracy horses, both in allowance races, and they both ran huge. One for the girls, one for the boys last weekend. Dazzling Dawn, a nice filly. Had some trouble in her first start, then broke her maiden by 9. Came back in an allowance race that was an open field against the boys. Won that comfortably, and a good 2nd behind Yukon Bell in the Fantasy. Richard Hamill lands on Dazzling Dawn, and I just love the way these Paul Carvetta horses in the Nancy Betts farm have been running. Put Dazzling Dawn in the 2nd spot, and Spirit Bay, an obvious contender, last year's Sadie Diamond Futurity winner out of the Phil Hall barn. Amadeo Perez takes the call. Spirit Bay has to be respected in here as well. 2, 4, 5 for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yukon Bell, she's a bit the best in here. I mean, she has been training well in the mornings, but so is Spirit Bay, Dazzling Dawn, and Something Better. Like
Yeah.
those 4 fillies are really going well. Even Keith Peterson's filly, Classic Statement.
Yeah, she comes in with a 35 and 3.
Nice work pattern. These are 5 very nice fillies, and tactics. Whoever gets a little bit better trip may win the money. Yukon Bell has some versatility to her. She did come from off the pace to break her maiden in a stakes race, as you mentioned. She had a brutal trip in the CD Diamond Futurity. She was 4 wide the whole race. Just had no luck from an outside draw. And then better draw next time in the Fantasy and went wire to wire in a very good time. Actually, he was faster than the boys in the Ascot graduation. But Spirit Bay, she's worked well this spring. Big, tall filly by Gallego. She's the one that could move forward from 2 to 3 and maybe make things interesting. She wasn't disgraced at all, actually, in the sales stake when she did lose to Yukon Bell.
Yeah,
but of course got the measure of her with an easy lead in the CD Diamond Futurity. They got a 47.5. And not going to get that with Something Better in the race and Dazzling Dawn, but we'll see how the race shapes up. I like Yukon Bell, Spirit Bay. I was torn between Dazzling Dawn and Something Better. I put the Greg Tracy runner Something Better in for third. Does have a race under her belt. Wasn't a great one, but did have a tough trip in Phoenix. But 253 for me in the BC Cup Dogwood on to race number 3. $16,000 older Colts and Geldings. Tough race.
It's a tough
I don't
one.
love Mighty Fraser. I went to Mighty Fraser, but I'm on the fence. I would want to have 3 or 4 horses in here.
Yeah.
Mighty Fraser, he's not really a win machine, as you can tell. He's got a lot of goose eggs the last 2 years, but he's getting down to the level where he should be pretty dangerous at Hastings. I think the way the race is going to shape up will favor him. It's finally Friday, has some speed. After the conflict, Silent Native, Prince Hotel likes the race prominent early. Mighty Fraser might get overbet, but I got to take him to win it. I put After the Conflict, who could be, if he can sneak away, might be the horse to beat. And the 7, Prince Hotel, who had a great season last year for Jody Rawson and Barry Tyrer. I got to put that one in for third. But I've left out Silent Native, who had a great season.
Yep.
He's a freshly turned 4-year-old. He was running a straight 3-year-olds last year, but he was laying down some nice times. He was a game horse, and I left out, it's finally Friday. Rebus is another Merlot. It's a good, solid. There's 7 nice horses in this particular race, but we can only pick 3 of them. I went 3, 5, and 7.
I know, in a race as competitive as this, we did land on the same horse. I went with Mighty Fraser for a simple reason. He's been running. He's run 4 times. He's race fit. We saw opening weekend 5 out of the 8 races were won by horses that had been running.
Yeah, Greg Tracy's horses did well.
And been running. Distinctive Passion had been running. Dear Lily
had been running.
There's one more, but anyway, there's 5. The only races that weren't was the maiden special weight. My dad's Colt won it. The horse ran 2nd, 3rd, and 4th had all been running.
Right.
And the other 2 races.
That's a big edge. That's a huge edge.
And the other 2 races didn't have horses in it that had been running. So that's why I landed on Mighty Fraser. I put After the Conflict in second. He's proven that he can fire fresh. Last year, first out of the box for 12.5, goes to the lead under Richard Hamill. Makes no mistakes, wins by 2 with a 72 buyer, and he's got nice work coming into this in 47 and 1. He figures to be dangerous. And I put It's Finally Friday. Just a hard knocking old horse. He's got a nice work coming into this too in 47 and 2. Right. And
nice horse.
Yeah, Harold's horses
look good.
They look like they're ready for Hall of Fame trainer Harold Barabee. As you mentioned, it's a tough field, tough to whittle them down. I ended up 3, 5, and
But you're
1.
right. An inferior horse will beat horses 9 other horses that have been off 6 months.
When you're race fit, and especially with the spring we've had trying to get these horses fit.
It's been tough. There's snow for all of February. It's a tough spring to get it. It really get good and tight, and good tighteners in your
Cedarburg, that was the other one.
I've been racing, and it's as I said, even inferior horses that have been running will beat a
horse with a little more talent. Exactly.
And that's what they've been on. Okay, on to the
4th.
Day.
Yep.
This is the 6.5 furlongs for the boys here. I ended up on the 7-horse Driller. I really liked what I've seen of him this spring. I know he tailed off a bit towards the end of the season, but he still was running good races. He was a good second behind Straight Remark. Didn't get the best of trips. He checked in the Jack Diamond Futurity. This is a nice horse. I think Mel's managed him very well. Co-owns this horse with Don Denard, and this horse certainly has looked the part in the mornings. Silvino Morales returns to the saddle, and I'm going to try Driller to defeat the 4 Commodity, who was brilliant last year, won the Jack Diamond Futurity. He was a cool horse. And Rock Victor for Greg Tracy, once again a horse that's been running. Put that one in for third. But I went 7, 4, and 3. I did leave out the Dino Swift Thoroughbreds horses, Salzburg and Igor. and even Silent Eagle, who's also trained well for Mel Beveridge. But a good rendition of the Stellar's Chase. It's a good little race. But the one that's impressed me the most this spring that I've seen is Driller, and I'm gonna stand on a hill with him. I'm gonna go 7-4-3.
I can see that. I got the same horses. I gave the edge to Rock Victor because that was a nice race in Phoenix. A good time. He got a 59 buyer, and he's got the race under his belt, as we were just mentioning. Enrico Walcott came over to ride Greg Tracy, and this has to be the one they're thinking they're going to win. I got Rock Victor on top of Kermode. Very nice resume for him. 6 and 7 in the money last year.
Had a great year.
Very good year for trainer Pat Jarvis. She did a beautiful job with Kermode. Is it Kermode or Commode?
Kermode.
Kermode. I'm sure.
We had that discussion last year.
Did we?
Lily and me. Well, kind of Dan was calling it Kermode.
Kermode. It is Kermode.
Lily and me and Jarvis, or Jarvis me and told me it's Kermode. The bear. It's a bear.
Oh, well, there you go.
Kermode bear.
And he ran like a bear all last year, and he figures to be tough in here again as we kind of stamp ourselves. First step towards the BC Derby in September. And I got Drill in the third spot. Same horses, Mike, a little bit different order. 3, 4, and 7 for me in the Stellar J.
Maiden special.
On to the 5th, maiden special weight for fillies and mares, mostly fillies. Going 6 furlongs. Field of 10 in here. Another one, you can make a case for a lot of these.
It's a tough race.
I landed on Anstrom, now trained by Phil Hall for owner Peter Redekop. I mean, look at that record. Second by 3/4 in the BC Cup Debutante. Third by a length and a quarter in the Sales Stake. Half a length in the Jack Diamond Futurity. 3 lengths in the Fantasy. Multiple, 4 times been in the money in stakes. Now she's in a straight maiden race. Been working well, Hamill, Phil Hall, Redekop. I got to go with Anstrom. Not crazy about the post. I'd like to see her outside, but
she's not speedy.
yeah, but I'm going to go with her anyways. I got Anstrom on top of Swaying. One that is coming off a very good second at Turf Paradise, has the race, as we mentioned, how dangerous that can be. Live connections with Greg Tracy and Enrico Walcott. I got Swain in the second spot. The only reason that I put Anstrom ahead of Swain, the thing that worried me was that April 22nd work in 105. There's the only thing that got me off Swain and on to Anstrom. And I put a star to be. Mark Kluche's horses look very good this spring. Another one that's never been worse than 3rd out of 3 starts. A good second behind Straight Remark. This is a filly, got beat by the boy Straight Remark, who ended up being our top 2-year-old at the meet last year. I got a star to be with Enrique Gonzalez aboard. Enrique, our leading rider here in 2013, got off to a bang-up start last Sunday. Star to be for me in the third spot, 157.
I went to the 5 swing. I go to the Greg Tracy runner. Once again, I don't love anyone in this particular race. There's a lot of chances in here. Swing, obviously never run at Hastings, but just does the 105 work. But at least does have a race in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And a very good one too. Looks like missed the break. Had the 1 hole. Looks like awkward start. And then was battling on the head end. Was
Only
very
got beat a
game
length
down
and a
the
half,
stretch, as the running line says. And Rico Walcott, excellent rider. I think he can boot this horse to the front and it'd be pretty dangerous. I put the 8-horse Florist in for second for Dino. Good run first time out too. Good luck to you. Came back, obviously maybe had shins or did something, the usual 2-year-old ailments. Came back in 2 weeks after that maiden runner-up effort and ran in the debutante and went to the sidelines after that race. But her work's coming back and been very good. Corinne Andros has done a lot of morning work for Dino. On these horses, gets the call. So I'll put that one in for second, and I put Anstrom in for third, but I can see Anstrom winning easily. There's a lot of chance of Cool Candy, if she gets in, is definitely a player. Bombay is another one who's stands in command.
Yeah.
Excellent pedigree with Bombay for Swift Thoroughbreds. And Kodiak Rose has got a nice pedigree, filly by Kodiak Cowboy, who was kind of a really good sprinter. This one was bought in Washington. So there's a lot of nice horses. And once again, anytime you get a maiden allowance race, you're going to get some pretty nice horses. So I went 5, 8, and 1. I'm going to go to the Greg Tracy runner, kick off a late pick 4. On race number 6, got some $4,000 fillies and mares. Going 6 furlongs. We're back to 6 furlongs in here. I went to the 5, the Speedy. I dig that. A good runner-up effort to Ariki Princess in her final start last year. She had a great season, 1, 2 of 6. Was very competitive. 6 furlongs is perfect for her, though. I just think the 6 is what nails her. She won her first start going 6 last year for Roddy Theras, and she hasn't shown me anything that she's going to be any worse this year by watching her morning trials. So I think I dig that is going to be pretty dangerous. Riki Princess for John Snow, another one that had a great season. She's going to be the one running on late for Wayne Oliver, Don Tom, and Stu Carmichael. So let's put that one in for second. And I put the 9, Valid Val, who closed out 2016 with a very impressive win from off the pace, which I didn't think she could do. And she did it in her last couple of starts. Looked like a speed filly throughout the early part of the year, but she settled nicely and ran 2 of her best races last fall. And a work tab, once again, for Mark has been excellent. 59, 115, 102. Those are solid works, 47 and change. She needs to be respected with Enrique Gonzalez as well. Those are the 3 I settled in on. I dig that. I don't think she's better than anyone here. I think she gets the lead, and she's going to be tough to catch. 5, 3, 9.
I went with the 9 for Valid Val, Enrique Gonzalez, Mark Cluche. As we mentioned, Mark Cluche's horses all been training very well. I just can't look past that 59 and 3 work coming into this on April 22nd. Looks like she's on her toes. She had a good year last year. Another filly that won 3 races last year. There's a few of them. You got Valid Val won 3, Moonride won 3 last year, Riki Princess won 3 last year.
Nice mares here.
This is another race where you can make a case for a bunch of them. But I landed on Valid Val.
Well last year.
Over, I dig that because there is quite a bit of speed in here. And I think Valid Val can sit just off of them. So I got Valid Val, over, I dig that. And I put Moonride in third. She finished the year very strong. A second and then 2 straight wins in a row. One of them over a few of these fillies in here with Catalia and a Riki Princess. And leading trainer Mike Anderson puts Bug Boy Jose Asensio aboard. I went 9, 5, and 6 in the 6th. On to the 7th. Another good race here.
Yeah, you got 11 of them.
3 and up for
only 10 running, but
25
grand.
Full fields. Let's get it all set out here. Yes, very good field.
Here. We're not used to handicapping 3 pages.
Yeah, I know. This is a very good race. Claiming 25, 10 horses. I landed on the odds are good. Speaking of horses that had good years last year, the odds are good. 9 starts, 4 wins. Finished off the meet with 2 good wins. He's a little win machine. He's 6 for 9 in the money. He's run this distance 6 furlongs twice. It's right up his alley. He's got a win and a second to show for it. He won going 6 furlongs off the bench last year, impressively in a optional 25. I like the odds are good. Over the 10, Burnham, who's one that won 5 races last year. He's extremely consistent. 8 for 9 in the money here at Hastings Park. Mike Anderson's had a lot of success with this guy. I got Burnham in the 2nd spot, and I put It's in Command. Nice horse of Harold Barraby's. 5 for 7 in the money last year. And another one that came off the bench well. Won a 16 going 6 furlongs last year, off the bench on the lead. Followed up with that was in a conditional 16, followed up with a win, open 16, and was right there in a bunch of his races. Look, gets beat a half length by Burnham, gets beat a half length by Taylor Steele, 2 lengths by Twist Grips. He's an honest horse, and I like this guy. I got him in 3rd spot. 7-10-4 for me.
Yeah, another race. Real tough handicapping assignment here. Luck will play a lot in this one. Whoever gets a bit of a trip, because 6 furlongs, someone's going to get a bad trip in a 10-horse field with the short run of the first turn. So I'm gonna try a little value here, hopefully with a 2-horse Pfeiffer. I don't know what kind of price he's going to be, but he has trained well. He's lightly raced last year as a 3-year-old. He did run 2nd though in the BC Cup Classic at the end of the year. Perhaps more of a route horse, we'll see, but I just like what I've seen of him. I'm going to give him a shot, maybe to upset horses like Bluegrass Angus. The odds are good in Burnham. We're far more accomplished. I mean, these are good, solid older horses.
Yeah, I know. I left out Bluegrass Angus too.
Pfeiffer really has to prove that he has a lot to prove still, because his form doesn't say he can beat Bluegrass Angus. The odds are good, or Burnham, but I just think there's potential there, and I don't think we've seen the best of Pfeiffer yet, and I'm going to try him to win it. I put the odds are good. I agree with everything you said. Nice horse. He just runs good races. The only time he missed the board was when he was routing or in for 50 grand or something. When he's in for 25 or just like It's in Command, whenever they're in for 25 around there, they're pretty tough.
Very dangerous. Yeah.
And I agree with Burnham. He's just a cool horse. Just got to overcome the 10 hole at 26, which could be difficult. But I went 2, 7, and 10. But once again, a very difficult race. A lot of nice horses I've left off the ticket. BC Charlie, Dashing Dawn. It's a good little race. But I did go 2, 7, 10 in race number 7 on the 8th and final. Full field of 10. We're also eligible, is waiting to get in. Going 6 furlongs, maiden $4,000 fillies and mares. I had no idea where to go here, and I just going to play a little hunch on the 9-horse Dancing All Day. 5-year-old daughter of Cause to Believe out of the mare Bursting Sweep, who John campaigned, and also John and Tammy bred the horse, bred the mare, and this foal is, just had the one run last year. Was beaten 6 lengths by Velvet Rose, who did run second, but it was just her career debut. And a lot of these horses that finished ahead of Dancing All Day had 8 starts, 6 starts, and it was, she's going to start now with everyone else making their first start in 6 months, so it's more of an even playing field. I know the works have been slow, but this barn has fired well and won races with slow works like this in the past with these types of cheaper horses. So I'll try the 9 over the Greg Tracy pair of the 3 Lulu's Best and the 4 Lady Chardonnay, both private purchases since their last races, taking advantage of the fresh horse program that we have here at Hastings, and they're both dropping in class, and they may both run away and hide, but we'll see. But both need to be respected and be on the ticket. I went 9, 3, and 4.
I went to the 2 Discreet Country out of the Anita Bolton barn. Canmore Farms owns this horse with Bud Millette. She was well thought of as a 2-year-old. You look at her first start, she went off as the favorite. That was a live race with Hanson's Victory. Driller was in there, Igor. She only got beat about
She'll be speed.
a quarter of a length from Igor, and now she's in for the $4,000 level. It does attract Enrique Gonzalez. I went with Discreet Cat on top of Lulu's Best. I like that one the best out of the 2 Greg Tracy horses because that's the one Rico Walcott lands on.
Of course.
That lands.
Romario has done morning work for him, but I agree.
Yeah, I know that.
That Rico would likely get the live.
Yeah, so that's why I put Lulu's Best in for second. And Joe It All, the red hot Rob Maben barn, fired great race first off the bench last year.
Start 22 could be the one.
30th of April. Well, I don't have her on top, but she's live.
Okay.
Got beat in neck by Corporate Last in her first start last year. So she
I
fires.
I picked her that day.
Fires good, fresh. Wow. Maben's on fire. I threw in for third. 2, 3, 5 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on screen will be picks. As always, Mike Heads. He is up first. Mike.
Well, just a quick recap anyway. Just the graphics aren't up, but I did go to the 6 Cowboy Phil in race number 1, 6, 5, and 2. Race number 2, I went to the 2 Yukon Bell, 2, 5, and 3. Race number 3, the 3 Mighty Fraser, 3, 5, and 7. Race number 4, the 7 Driller, 7, 4, and 3. Race number 5, I went to the 5 Swaying, 5, 8, and 1. Race number 6, number 5, I Dig That, 5, 3, 9. Race number 7, a little bit, hopefully an upset with the 2 Pfeiffer. I'm going to go 2, 7, and 10. In the 8th and final, I went to the 9, another upsetter, Dancing All the Way, 9, 3, and 4. Drew's picks.
My picks, I went to the number 5 in the first Storm 18 out of the Mike Anderson barn, over the 3 and the 6. In the second, what's the name of the race? Just escaped me.
Dogwood.
The Dogwood, the BC Dogwood for 3-0 fillies. I went to the 2 Yukon Bell over the 4 Dazzling Dawn and the 5 Spirit Bay. In the third, very contentious race, I went to the 3 Mighty Fraser over the 5 and the 1. In the fourth, the Stellar J, I went to the 3 Rock Victor over the 4 Kermode and the 7 Driller. In the fifth, I went to number 1 Anstrom over the 5 and the 7. In the sixth, went to number 9 Valid Val over the 5 and the 6. In the seventh, I went to Mel Snow's very solid horse. Number 7, the odds are good over the 10 Burnham and the 4 It's in Command. And in the nightcap, I landed on the 2 Discreet Country over the 3 and the 5.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Also, a quick reminder that our next live card will be Saturday, May the 6th. We do have, of course, Kentucky
Derby Day.
Got another big race going on that day. We'll have some nice races at Hastings, but there's that other one.
There's the other one in first Saturday in May.
Yeah,
and we do still have a little bit of room here. We have a couple open tables. You want to phone and make a reservation to watch
the 143rd running of the
Kentucky Derby.
We race Saturday, Sunday. We're back to 2 days a week for the next for the rest of the season now, which is I know everyone is going to be happy for that. But yeah, next Saturday and Sunday will be our live cards. Also of note, we do have the Hastings Paddock Sale.
Yes.
This Sunday.
Saturday's
the preview at noon. If you're down at Hastings, please come on out. There's 14 horses in the sale. Come on out and watch them breeze, and have catalogs there. There'll be some coffee and some goodies. And watch. There'll be commentary. You can watch the horses breeze in the morning or at noon. In preparation for the sale the next day. But the preview is on Saturday, April 29th at noon at Hastings, of course, in the grandstand, and that's where we'll be holding the little preview. And then on Sunday, the sale itself will be after the last race. We're shooting for about 6 o'clock, and that'll be in the paddock area. Where all 14 horses will go up for auction at 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. Well, that'll do it, as I mentioned. Thanks very much, Drew.
Yep.
Hopefully we've given everyone a little insight into the Sunday program. Wish everyone lots of luck, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill for Handicappers Corner.